watching Adventures Afield.
Recently, overlanding has taken off as a new way to travel and experience the outdoors. It has grown into a large community of off-road rigs and people seeking adventure. One of those people helping this community is Jason Criss of RIGS and Coffee.
I'm Jason Criss. I'm the organizer of RIGS and Coffee.
What got you into overlanding?
Overlanding. So I was in the Marines for 9.5 years, and when I got out, kind of went through all sorts of different hobbies, whether it was just days at the range or trying to get in small groups with other guys. I was looking for something that kind of brought back some camaraderie or some of the things that I used to do in the Marines, and stumbled across an Instagram page, and I saw some vehicles with rooftop tents, and I was like, man, that looks really cool, and that will get me back into the outdoors. So I kind of just went down the rabbit hole and found myself buying a Jeep and then just going online and started to order a bunch of stuff. So that's what really got me into overlanding. Was it brought me back into a thing where I was outdoors, hanging out with close friends, around campfires, having some sort of an adventure though, because you still got to get to the destination. So it was really, overlanding was kind of like a package deal of everything that I was looking for to kind of fill this void of things I used to do in the Marines.
What did you do in the Marines?
I was an infantry guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a good shot.
A little bit.
So you do hunt?
I do. I don't get to hunt as often as I'd like to. Again, overlanding is quite an expensive hobby, I think, once you get into all the gear. So talking the wife into letting me also go on some bigger game hunts that come with price tags it's one or the other. So I try to get out as often as I can. I've had more hog hunts than I've had other big game hunts, but you know, we'll fit them in when we can.
Right. You ever tried to combine the two?
I have. Actually, on this very last trip, we went out to my friend's property down in the hill country area of Texas, and we brought our rifles. He has feeders on his property, and we were trying to get some hogs, and I had the rifle actually set up in the rooftop tent waiting for the sun to come up, but nothing came out. But I'm still want to take an animal from the rooftop tent. I think that would be a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, how long have you been overlanding?
Less than a year. Less than a year. We, again, I stumbled across this just online, probably last April or something. And we actually started a build on a Subaru Forester, because I saw some pretty unique Foresters out there that were even on lifts and had the whole rooftop tent set up. Went out and bought a Forester Cash down in Austin. Had it for 3 weeks. A lady ran a stop sign and totaled it. So that build started and ended pretty quick. So once we got that all settled, we found the Jeep, and then we're where we are with that now. So I think at the end of the day, I think the Jeep fits what I want to do more. It goes more places I wanted it to. But yeah, so less than a year we've been into this. And just kind of dove straight in, and it's been fun. The community's great, and that's kind of really what led me to starting RIGS and Coffee.
So what made you go for a Jeep over like a Toyota?
Nothing really particular. I think maybe when I first stumbled across it, I saw these Jeep builds with these full kitchens in the back. So I was just my first find was really the Jeeps. So then I went and got myself a Jeep. Nothing against the other brands out there. I think they all have their niche and they all do things well. But yeah, Jeep found me first when I was looking up overlanding.
Okay. How much money do you have in your Jeep now?
Not including the Jeep, just in gear. If my wife's watching this, everything was free. No, but realistically, I guess if you just counting the big things like rack and tent and fridge and comm gear, I mean, you're probably at I don't know, probably $6,000 worth of stuff just in big items.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not horrible. I mean, you can definitely do it for less. But I wanted a sturdy rack that could carry a lot of weight. We got a rooftop tent that has a California king size mattress in it because we're a family. We wanted the fridge.
So your kid goes with you?
Yes, we've done 3 trips now with a 2-year-old, and it goes pretty well. You know, there are some times where she gets a little, you know, uneasy, and she wants her iPad and YouTube. And when we go out and look at the rig, I'll show you how I fixed the YouTube part.
Nice.
Yeah, no, we've done it with a 2-year-old, and it's went okay. There's some nights where she'll wake up kind of disoriented because it's a dark tent in a new place, but we can calm her down and get her back down. But it's been okay.
It's good to introduce children to the outdoors at an early age.
Yeah, very important to me. I want her to, she gets enough screen time at home, and you know, not as many kids are playing outside as like when I grew up. I was outside till the street lights came on. So introducing her to the outdoors and camping and everything else is definitely very important to my wife and I.
Do you have plans on introducing her to hunting?
Oh yeah, definitely would like to. As soon as I think she's old enough, I'd like to get her behind a little .22 and just teach her the, you know, the importance and the safety aspects of firearms, and have her respect them. And you know, we bring meat home now from hunts, so just letting her know, like, you know, meat comes from other places. It doesn't have to come from a grocery store. But yes, she will definitely be introduced to hunting, and I'd you know, love to get her involved in that as soon as I can.
What are your plans for the future for Rigs and Coffee?
The grand master plan, if I had a dream of what Rigs and Coffee will become, is I'd like to have these meets in several of the cities. We've obviously started here in the North Texas area. We've got one going on in Houston actually this weekend, February 2nd. And I'm looking for a host for Austin. And I'd like to hold monthly meets in each of those cities. And then once a year, I would like to have a expo style event on either an off-road park or some kind of campground where we get all the 3 cities together, or just people from wherever, and we do either a 2-night, 3-night event with vendors and classes and you know, guided off-road trips. So that would be the master plan, is to get everyone together in one big central location and have some type of weekend-long event. So overlanding to me, it really, you know, in my hunt to find the replacement for things I did in the Marines, and that feeling, and I guess adrenaline, if you want to call it that, or the camaraderie, overlanding became that missing piece to my life, really, because I guess most people don't know, but I struggle with PTSD. I was in the Marines for 9.5 years. I was an infantry guy. I was there for the invasion in 2003, and over the course of my first 4 years in the Marines, I spent about 29 months overseas. I've lost more friends or guys I served with after we've all gotten out to suicide. So combating that, making sure I understand that that's real, is important to me. This community of overlanders and getting to know other people has helped me. It gives me something to look forward to, gives me things to plan for. It's a hobby for me to go work on the rig. So it really just filled that void to just keep me busy and keep me excited for something, and to know that there's something to do rather than just kind of sitting home and wait for something to happen. So really what I'd like for this community to become is really just, I want to build a community of people that are all interested in the same thing, but all give us, you know, something a little bit more, you know, friends, people to lean on, people to call, people to go on trips with, because I've got a strong interest in helping people, because, yeah, I'm just tired of losing friends.
Right.
So,
have you gotten any of your friends from the military into this?
Sadly, it's tough, because when we all got out, you know, we all dispersed, and we went back to our hometowns. So I don't live near anybody that I personally served with, but I definitely want to reach, you know, the veterans are near or close or in Texas, or anyone that wants to come around and go on trips with them. So I definitely want to use this platform as a way to reach veterans, or just, you know, it doesn't have to be veterans really, but just anybody that needs community.
Right.
I'm a strong believer in community.
Okay,
so.
cool. And family, obviously.
Oh yeah, and family. I'm a short guy, so climbing up on top is what I found works for me.
How long does it usually take you?
I would say realistically, you can, from time you park to the time you could climb in there and lay down if you needed to, like if it was raining, 5 to 10 minutes. So at this point, if you had to, if it was pouring down rain on you, you could climb in there and just wait it out. Really, the only thing from here is staking down these and then propping open the windows if you needed to. But from right here, you could go up in there and sleep. All right, once you're up in here, I keep my sleeping bag in here, and I keep 2 pillows, so I don't have to carry it inside the rig. It just stays up here all the time. The tent just folds right on top of it. If I know it's a family trip, I could even put another sleeping bag up here in my daughter's bag. So you can keep quite a bit of stuff in these things, and it just takes some of the stuff out of the inside of the vehicle. But you've got two skylights, big rear window and 2 side windows. We also run a heater buddy in here. I'll show you that on the outside. We've got propane on the roof, and we just run a hose onto the inside and run the heater buddy in here for cold weather nights. So this tent is it's a 23-0 is the brand, and this is their Byron model. The Byron is their California king size mattress. So for people that don't like to sleep on the ground, this is kind of the best way to go. You're on a 3-inch memory foam mattress, super comfortable. It's a California king again. You can, I mean, if you really had to, you could probably sleep, you know, 3 to 4 adults if you wanted to be close. But my wife and our 2.5-year-old daughter, I mean, we sleep in here with plenty of room to roll around and safely run a heater buddy in here with, you know, no chance of hitting it. So yeah, we really enjoy this tent. It's great for a family. All right, so this is the rear that we built, or I built. I'm not a carpenter at all, or never have been. This is like my first woodworking project I've ever done. But we built this little cabinet to carry the things that we need to carry back here. I built it up on 2x4 so I could fit a little 4x4 folding table. So we have that always with us. I'm using the Arb Slide and Fridge. This is their 50-quart model. This was a must-have for us, you know, especially having a little one, to just never have to worry about ice and be able to carry, you know, food and just whatever else we want. For all the guys out there, if you're trying to talk your wife into getting a fridge and you can't justify the cost, send your wife grocery shopping with a fridge one time, and she'll come back and say, okay, I get it. My wife loves grocery shopping now. with a fridge because she can go to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Kroger, all in one day, pick up everything, and know the ice cream's still good and everything else. So a fridge is good for things other than just overlanding or camping. We use this guy. This is I know I've got a Tembo Test sticker on there, but that's actually a unit made by Big Kahuna. It's our shower or water source. It's pretty ingenious design. It's a pet food container with a 12-volt water pump on the inside. Carries 13 gallons of water. We just flip a switch on the inside, and I'll show you the cockpit later. But water comes right out of here as soon as you flip the switch. It also has a heater that you can run in it. So, 3 things my wife said we needed to have if she was going to go camping with me: a fridge, get her off the ground to sleep, and a heated shower. So we checked all those boxes, and now she comes out with me. We run these Front Runner Cub Packs. They're just little storage boxes and can fit 3 across the top. Got one that has all of our kitchen stuff in it, miscellaneous gear like batteries and gear hangers, and then I think this one's an empty one right now. That's pretty much everything we've got going on in the back. I'll shut it down and I'll show you what I've got on the tire carrier. So on the back of the rig here, we're running the AEV rear bumpers. We pretty much run everything AEV, American Expeditionary Vehicles, everything almost that they make for Jeep except the Hemi swap, because I can't talk my wife into that. But we got, so the AEV bumpers. The AEV bumpers actually have, on each corner, carry 2.5 gallons of water. And then they also have a little hand pump that you can do if you really need to fill everything up. We also have 10.2 gallons of fuel behind the rear tire, and that just comes out by siphon straight to the fuel tank, or whatever you need to fill up. Trasharoo, because you need to pick up your trash and leave everything better than how you found it. On this side over here, everyone always asks what this antenna is. What does this do? So we got this. This is the solution for when you travel with a 2.5-year-old and you need cell phone signal so she can watch her shows or get her fix on the iPad every now and then. This is a Weboost 4GX OTR. I think that's called the on-the-road antenna. This is a cell booster. It works for any carrier. It basically takes the signal from here, goes into an amplifier on the inside, and then there's an internal antenna that boosts the signal into the cab. I can show you all that later. Everything else, I guess, that you can see from the back, the little antenna up here, we run a Midland GMRS radio. It's the 15-watt. And we run the Front Runner rack. I picked this rack because of its load capacity. It can load 800 pounds static, and I think 300 or 400 pounds while it's moving. And then they also have endless accessories for their rack. We've got the Front Runner propane tank holder up top, which feeds our heater buddy, which keeps us warm in the tent. So in the back here, this is just kind of an area for more storage. I run a Goal Zero 400 here. It's actually how we just power everything that we're running. It gets a charge while the vehicle is running, so that every time we stop, the Goal Zero is full. Tembo Test Scuttle, great piece of gear if you don't have one, and onboard air. The compressor is mounted in the cabinet right behind the fridge, if you want to check that out. Okay. And that's just via air. That's where all the toys are. Talk to you about the Weboost antenna in the back. Right here is where I have the Weboost amplifier mounted, which then routes a signal to an antenna that's right behind the driver's seat, driver headrest. Midland 15-watt radio right here. We've got Midland handheld for when you get out of the vehicle. Of course, I've got my Canon camera right here for our vlogs. We've got the Garmin InReach Mini for any satellite communication when we completely lose any cell signal, or for when my wife wants to just know where I'm at. And might get a better view from the other side because everything's driver focused, but we've got the iPad Pro mounted. We've got the fridge monitor, so I always know what temperature it is and make sure it's always getting power so I don't arrive to a site with bad food. Up here I have no more rear view with the cabinet I built, and the Cub Pack's taking pretty much all of my rear view away, so I run a full-time rear view camera. Rear view safety makes that, and it's really focused for RVs, but I just, you know, made it work for the Jeep. We run the S-Pod 6-switch panel up here. This controls everything from power to my fridge, onboard air, the switch for our water source in the back, my rear locker. I've got an AC inverter up there, and then I've got another switch for all the driving lights up front. All right, so on the iPad, primarily we run Gaia GPS for all of our navigating. All of our trip planning is done at home, and then we just load our routes and our waypoints there. Let's see, from that angle, everything else that you can see, better angle on the rear view safety camera on the back. And then over on the left, that's the Super Chips tuner. That gives me all my gauges and temperatures and everything else. It's not on right now because the vehicle's off, but it's just more data. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a pilot, so I just kind of created myself a cockpit of my own, really. Any gadget I can put on the dash, I'm going to go get it. And then, of course, we've got the patch panels. So we go around and collect anyone who's got a patch. We'd love to add it to the collection. I've got my patch from the Marines up there and everything else. Oh, and Overland Bound.
You remember?
Yep, yes sir. I'm Jason Criss with RIGS and Coffee. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you at one of the meets or out on the trail. Check us out on Patreon if you'd like to contribute or support the community. We'll drop a link in the video, or check us out, RIGS and Coffee on Facebook, and come see us at one of the events.